What's up, guys? Welcome back to Pokemon's Gaming 23. Knocking out today's content creation a little bit early because we just reached seller level 3, which means I now have the ability to list 50,000 listings. I thought that it was 5,000, but my inventory availability now shows 50,000 listings. So I figured this video would be appropriate for this milestone, and I'm just going to jump right into it. I'm going to try not to make a 20-minute video today. So the theme of today's video is how to be successful starting to sell on TCG Player early. How to be successful early. Step one is do your research. Watch as many YouTube videos as you can. I recommend PokePaster TCG. The guy's got a bunch of great videos. Seems like a stand-up dude. He gives back to the community, and I really have enjoyed his content. So thank you, PokePaster TCG. Appreciate that. Do your research and be prepared to kind of filter things out. You're going to get some good advice. You're going to get some advice that may not be applicable to you. Just be prepared to sit down and write down your takeaways and all the good things that you are considering implementing, and then filter out the things that may not apply. Some of this is going to be baptism by fire, though, so just do your research. Step two, assess your inventory. You need to have a decent amount of product to be able to sell. There's a couple different reasons for that, which we may or may not get into depending on how my brain works. But if you have at least 500 items that you can sell, so mid to low end singles, $1 to $5 singles, then you're probably going to be okay. If you have only 10,000 bulk cards, you might have a little bit harder time getting things up and running. Which brings me to 2A. Consider selling some of your collection. And that brings us right into point 3, which is separate the collector in you from the seller. So those two things go hand in hand in the sense that if you want to be successful in this, if you want to get off to a good start, if you want to be able to maintain, you need to build capital. If you don't already have a big bag of money sitting around, you need to be able to build capital and reinvest that capital into your inventory. So for me, a lot of that's going to be through bulk. I have a bunch of bulk. I've separated it. I've tried to get creative on ways to sell it. But I also have a lot of low to mid-end singles. I have graded slabs that are anywhere from $30 to $200 that I can liquidate and just buy binder copies, right? If I get rid of my base set Blastoise and I get $380 out of it, I'm just making up numbers, but if I get $380 out of it and I can get a binder copy for $80, right now I just have $300 extra dollars that I can reinvest into buying a small collection or picking up some singles at a card show or at a card shop that you think are going to be successful. We could get back to do your research on cards to buy, buying cards that are playables in the TCG world, right? So if a Pokemon card like the Night Stretcher is highly sought after, which it is, going to your local card shop and picking through the box and grabbing up a bunch of those and seeing if the card shop will cut you a deal. You just tell them, hey, I'm a player looking to get these for a little bit cheaper than whatever they are in the box. Just be prepared to hustle a little bit, but separate the collector in you from the seller. You're going to have to draw a line in the sand on what you are willing to get rid of and what you're not willing to get rid of. So that brings us to step 4. Be prepared to break even or even lose money early on. And don't count dollars and cents early on. I think that a lot of people will tell you, keep track of all your sales and keep track of how much money you're spending and this and that. I don't think that that's as important as getting to level 3. I think that level 3 is kind of the point where you want to be, and I'll get a little bit more to that later. But there's going to be a learning curve when it comes to selling on here. The shipping on TCG Player is super wonky. So one of the mistakes that I made early, if you've watched some of my previous videos, which you probably haven't, but is that I took all my EX cards, all my Mega EX cards that I was willing to part ways with, and I listed them at the lowest price on TCG Player. I matched to the lowest price. Well, I had one person who went through and bought 32 cards with multiple copies of a bunch of those cards, and I wound up only getting like $13 for the order. Those are in anybody's binder at a card show. Those are $1. Those cards are $1, and I was 34 cards. Let's do the math. 40 cents a card. Oh God, check my math. Sorry. Yeah, I took a big loss, so it wasn't cool. I won't do that again. So what I did to correct that is anything that I had multiple listings on that I thought would move quick, I went through and I took out the multiple inventories of it, right? So if I had 3 Mega Maywile EXs listed at the lowest price, I took 2 out of the inventory and only listed 1 at the lowest price. That way, if somebody wanted that card, they get that one at the lowest price. Maybe they put a couple of other singles in their cart, and we get out and there's minimal loss, right? And then I can just reload the inventory. That's going to protect you from getting just absolutely slammed on a big bulk order that winds up costing you $5 or $6 in shipping anyway. So you really are just going to lose money. So don't keep track of your success too early on. Just be prepared to invest a little money, invest some of your collection, learn as much as you can as you go, continue to do your research as you go, and give yourself some grace, as my wife would say. She'd say, give yourself some grace. You're doing good. You're grinding, right? So I don't think she sounds like that. She'll probably kill me if she watches this. But that brings us to point 5. Look professional. When you package things, when you ship things, take some pride in that, right? If you want somebody to return to you as a buyer, one of the ways that you're going to do that is by shipping things properly. Invest in some shipping shields. Make things look nice. Package them properly. There's plenty of videos on the internet that'll teach you how to package cards properly. Provide a little thank you card, right? Oh, come on, baby. Little thank you card. Just goes in the package. Maybe they follow you on social media. I don't know if I've pulled any social media followers from this yet, but if I have, great. If it works 1 out of 100 times and I get a new customer, I'm going to be happy. They're just printed on the computer or printed on the printer that's attached to my computer, and I throw one in each package just as a thank you, and hopefully get some return customers out of that. So look professional, package your stuff properly, take care of the cards. Imagine that you were buying cards, how you would want them to arrive. I guess we can talk about packaging when it comes to providing tracking. I just got saved today, honestly, with providing tracking. I had somebody send me a message. They said, "Where's my order?" I looked back. The order it was actually that order where the guy burned me. But I said, "Where's my order?" And I said, I typically don't provide tracking on orders that are under $20. But you got standard shipping, and it's between 7 and 10 business days that you should receive your order. We're only at 6 business days. Contact me in a couple days. I went back and looked. I made a good decision because I actually did get tracking on that order, because I did not want to get burnt twice on the same sale. Golden rule, my dad always said, don't make 2 mistakes on one play. So I made the mistake of listing a bunch of cards way too low. I gave somebody an opportunity for a come up. I hope that they're super happy with that order, but I also blocked that buyer. And, now I have, of course, a shipping issue with them where they're super impatient. Luckily, I got the tracking. I provided them with updated tracking, and they really can't do anything about. Even at this point, if their package gets lost because I provided tracking, I'm covered. So there's another lesson that we can throw into this. Number 6, do not rush to seller level 4. Okay, there is no reason. There's no reason to need infinite amount of listings right now. This is day 17 of me selling cards on TCG, and I think that this is the right pace, right? Reaching seller level 3 on day 17 is really fast. I've learned a lot. I have not perfected it. And, there's some great tools that are going to become available to me at level 4, and I'm really looking forward to those, but I am not in a hurry. Okay. I'm fine with laying the foundation properly and getting to seller level 4, right, which is 50 completed and delivered sales. We just hit 11 today. 11 that have completed. There's 29 total. So we're more than halfway to level 4. And I'm expecting that, it'll probably be another 17 days and we'll be level 4. So we'll be able to make a new video about all of those new tools that'll be available to us. And hopefully we'll be making some decisions about whether or not to advance the store to the next level. But don't rush to seller level 4. Slow down, learn your lessons, figure out your systems, right? And that brings us to number 7, develop systems and be prepared to change them. One of the first things that I did was I rushed out and I bought the scanner. I bought the Epson ES400 II. I have a video on it. Still sweet. I might go get it again in a little bit, right? Not in a little bit, but once I reach seller level 4, if I determine that I actually need this thing now, I might go grab it, get it back. I think it'll work, but I really needed the capital from the $400 that I spent on that thing to invest back in and make sure that I slowed myself down, right? I caught myself going a little too fast, getting ahead of myself. I wasn't really in a position, right, because I wasn't seller level 4 to use the scanner because I can't update mass inventory yet, right? If I can do that, I'm sure that I'm going to get more sales once I can upload a picture of every single item that I'm listing. But for now, I'm just listing them without pictures in condition, and the buyers are taking my word at it, and then they're receiving it in the condition that I said it was. So one of the systems that I developed, as you might have seen in my earlier videos, was alphabetizing, right? I have everything alphabetized. I know you can't see very well, but you can see a little bit. So my whole inventory is alphabetized. And for now, that's working, right? We have just under 500 listings right now. After tonight, I'd like to have closer to 800 listings because I have that 50,000 limit. I'd like to get some of the lower end bulk up on there, right? That way when people want to complete their master set, if they have any reverse hollows that they need from Paldean Fates, right? I have literally probably 2 copies of every single reverse hollow from that, and they'll be able to go through and say, I need this one, this one, this one, this one, this one. When they go to optimize their cart and they see that I have these cards listed, and maybe they're 20 cents over market price, but rather than paying 4 different people's shipping costs, they're going to be able to come to one store, my store, and get every card that they need. I'm going to be able to turn a little bit of a profit on something that, if you look at people's bulk pricing charts, would have been like, 3 cents. So that is where the profit margin comes in on bulk for me. I think that's how it's going to play out. I can't imagine that it won't, but I'll keep you posted. Remember, this is part of continuing to do your research, continuing to learn, to humble yourself, to slow down, to get as much as you can. So develop systems, be prepared to change them. Point A, 7A, is don't rush to buy anything other than shipping materials, right? Get yourself some graded card bags. I like these better than team bags. They're bigger. I can fit a bunch of cards in them. One of the mistakes I just made was I had these like smaller bubble mailers. Hate them. I tried to put a blister pack in one of these things for an eBay shipment. It wouldn't fit. And this one's pretty thin, so I upgraded. I will show you my upgrade. I went out and I bought these. It's bigger, significantly bigger. It's going to fit a lot of cards. Your pieces of cardboard that you're packing on each side of multiple cards. It's going to fit in here, no problem. I can fit my hand in there. I can fit my head in there. I'm just kidding. But shipping materials. Get you some bigger bubble mailers. I think these are... this is what you need. A ruler. These are 9 by 7. So I think they're 8 by 6 of fillable space. You need a ruler. You need bubble mailers. You need penny sleeves. You need card savers. You need a shipping scale. Super important. Shipping scale. I just accidentally hit the button. You need stamps. A lot of forever stamps. You need some 1 ounce stamps for when your card, when there's, 10 cards in an order and it's just over what a forever stamp is going to cost you. Get yourself some windowed envelopes. You'll thank me later. Make yourself a little sticker return address, right? Print those off. Buy these shipping materials. Make it look professional. It'll pay dividends. It has been for me. I have 100% positive feedback rating on all of the 11 sales that I've completed so far. But I also have a really good eBay rating because I've used these same techniques for a while and they work. So don't rush to buy anything other than shipping materials. Now, with that being said, get yourself a label printer, a thermal printer. You have to have it. It's just a necessity. When you get an order that's like 15 to 20 cards, this bubble mailer is going to require a label. The last thing you want to be doing is printing off a label, using scissors to cut it down to size, and then using Scotch tape. Is that what it's called? This stuff. That's the last thing you want to be doing. I know you can't see it very well, but I think you know what I'm talking about. It's better than you seeing everything that's behind me. But that's the last thing you want to be doing. It takes a significant amount of time. So with this, I can put my order together. I pull from my alphabetized inventory, which I do want to change. I'll go back to that point real quick. But I put it together. I throw it in here protected. I close this. I print the label. The label peels off as a sticker. I slap it on there, and it goes in the stack. And it takes me, I probably cut the time by 200%. I don't know. Math is not my strong suit, as you have seen. God bless calculators. So going back to systems real quick, since that came up. As you can tell, this is the first video that I've really done any kind of script for. I don't really care for it. To me, I'd rather just talk naturally and make an ass of myself and go back. You saw my alphabetized thing. I like that. But as my inventory grows and grows and grows, the last thing I want to do is be reaching into A, right? And having to go through 150 cards that begin with the letter A, right? Even if they are in order, I got to go like this till I find what I want, right? So I need to break these up into smaller batches and have them organized. So I think what my plan is, and we're going to implement this tonight, is going to be to upload them by set. So I have Temporal forces. It's all organized, alphabetized, but I'm going to keep temporal forces together, and then this will be alphabetized. I'm going to do paradox rift together, and that will be alphabetized. I'm going to do 151 crown zenith. You get the point. I'm going to do them each individually alphabetized. That way, when I pull up a card, I have a much smaller batch that I have to reach into. I'll alphabetize them the same way, and then once we get to level 4 and we can use SKU numbers, it'll already be there. I can go in and hopefully just mass update, right? Temporal forces will be SKU number 0002. I don't know exactly how it's going to work, but it's going to work. All right. Prepare your inventory for level 3 is our last point. We're up to 21 minutes. Holy cannoli. Prepare your inventory for level 3. So get ready to reinvest your money into buying mid and lower to mid end singles, right? Anything that's between $1 and $5 or $5 and $15, I would say, is probably your sweet spot, because the only way to cover your shipping costs appropriately is to have cards that are worth a little bit of money, right? I'm to the point where I'm going to start selling off some of these, some of this bulk, these reverse hollow bulks, hollow and reverse hollow, and I'm going to see if there's a profit margin, right? Or are they going to eat me up by ordering, 30 cards at 50 cents? Ooh, we're back to math. Don't judge me. $15, right? 30 cards. I got to ship that in a bubble mailer. So minus 550. We'll just call it 550, depending on where it goes. Making $9. All right, that's fine. $9 on, right? That's before fees and whatever, but $9 on 30 reverse hollows ain't a bad gig. Considering for 1,000 of them, you're maybe getting $20 from a card shop. I don't know. It's probably less than that. But yeah, so prepare your inventory for level 3. Be prepared to buy some small collections to get to a card show and buy some of those lower end singles, and make sure that you go back to step 1 and do your research. Know what you're going to a card show to buy. You're not just going to buy any pretty piece of shiny cardboard. You need to know if this thing's going to sell. Let me see if I can find you a for instance card. So I have good taste in Pokemon cards. I always have. I'm really good at this. Here we go. This is a card that's going to sell wonderfully. Come on, man. There we go. It's a full art. Holoptile full art, right? I came across a couple secret ones that I'm not going to tell you about. Any evolution. Here's a Glaceon, right? A Glaceon V, right? If you can get this card for less than $1, you probably sell it for $1. So think about popular Pokemon. Think about pretty Pokemon. I had no idea that this card's going for a ridiculous amount graded. Okay, you can't see it very well because I'm not holding it towards the camera, dumbass. Yeah, this card's crazy. This is my graded pile, actually. So these are cards that are going to grade so that I can create even more of a profit margin on that. So we'll do a separate video. I got this card for a steal. Don't go look this up. You see that price tag on it? That is a reverse hollow Ghastly. This is a $30 or $40, $50 card. It's up there, but I got it for $1. So go through those bins. Look for stuff like that. And just when you go to the counter, if you're at a card shop and you find something like that, slap your dollar on the table and hold up the card and fucking cuss words and keep it moving. It's not shady. They make a super profit selling everything to you and everybody else. So don't be afraid to make a little profit. But I'm going to wrap this up. Thank you guys for watching. Hopefully this was helpful. Hit the comments, ask me questions. I will reply on on my card there was my email and all of my socials. Follow me on everything. My email is right there. It is, man, I got to invest in a better camera. It's PokemansGaming23 at Gmail. So get at me if you got. I am buying and selling. I'm actively buying and selling. I am also doing consignment. So my consignment rate is 14%, which means that if you have a collection that you want to sell, you and I link up. We talk about the value of your cards. I will evaluate them. I will condition them, which means determine whether or not they're near mint, light played, moderate played, heavy played, or damaged. We'll put together basically an expectation for the amount that you should be prepared to get for your collection. I will sell them for you, and you will give me 14% of the net profit, which means after shipping, after fees. So I have no problem doing it. It is going to help me build my business. It's going to help you not have to put in the tremendous amount of hours that it takes to do this stuff. So I guess if we were going to create one more bullet point, point 9 would be prepared to spend a lot of time touching cards. Get yourself an organizer, probably 2. I'm about to order another one because I need another one. I need to be able to set this here and put organize here, and then take the stacks that are organized, set them there, and organize them again. That was loud. So yeah, this is a long video. Maybe you watched some of it. If you watched all of it, you better be smashing that subscribe, smash the like button, all the good stuff. See you on the next one.